There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Breaking Free podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Francis. Today, Jenna McClelland is back on the show. Some of you might remember her, some of you may not. Jenna was on my show, what was it, like last year in like October, maybe? It was just after you did the
Uh,
Are You Here for the Truth podcast, I know, and I reached out to you.
yeah, I think it was closer to August.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been a
more
while.
summertime.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so Jenna is a spiritual healer and circumcision researcher, and we went pretty deep into the circumcision trauma for men out there, and there was a really awesome chat. So links to that podcast will be in the show notes if you want to go back and listen. But Jenna, welcome back to my platform today. Since that chat, you've really stepped up in the world, haven't you? You're on Kelly Brogan, and you got Joe Rogan out there in the horizon.
Joe
You're chatting
Rogan's
about.
in the horizon somewhere in the ether. Yeah, well, it's in the 5D. It hasn't landed quite yet here in the
No.
3, but it's happening. So
You've
yeah,
had
things
lots
are.
of lots of cool opportunities have come your way since our last conversation. So what's been going on, and how you doing? And let's have a chat today.
Let's do it. Yeah, things are going really well. Lots of growth. You know, at the very beginning with circumcision, right? Like when you awaken to the devastation of it and you go through your own mourning period of, I can't believe this is something that is being done to infants and mothers and fathers and parents and family units, and what that is cultivating and how it's affecting society at large, humanity, right? And to mourn the confusion, the dumbfoundedness of like, how is this even real? How is this still happening? And how is it that people get mad and angry when you talk about it? So
Mm.
you go through this anger period, this grieving, and you're pretty upset. And so in the very beginning of my journey, I that was more of the energy that I was putting into my words, into the way that I spoke. Like, how is this even real? Here are the graphic images. Here is what it is. But over time, as I've healed that and become more grounded in the work, I've worked with more men. I've seen more light blossom in my life with my channeling abilities, with my psychic abilities, and with the way that I have chosen to shift and go about the direction of being solution based has pivoted me into aligning with greater and bigger opportunities. And when we work with the light, when we are collaborative towards speaking to the good, the benefit of the restoration of the divine masculine, to the benefit of having a whole body for sexual pleasure, for our ability to even experience that divine right? It will align you with more miracles,
That's
with
true.
more people,
Mhm.
and we are supported by the celestials. We are supported by God, as we are light workers in the world. Too many of them are fighting too much with the dark and talking too much about these really bad events and things that are happening in the world, that it takes their energy. So many people are exhausted, they're run down, they're angry, they're fighting on Instagram with bots, and nothing is really getting done, right? So having have done this pivot, I have just really positioned myself as the leader of this movement to get higher and more and larger audiences to eventually dissolve circumcision. I really do. Like, I can confidently say in my lifetime, circumcision will be a practice of the past.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And I see that happening too. And I think I can really relate to what you were just talking about. I think I delved a bit more into the dark worldly stuff, and that might be another reason why I was a little bit run down the last few weeks as well. And also meeting someone as well and having that experience as well. It's just all it was all a lot for my sort of field and energy system. So can definitely relate to some of that. And it's about shining a light on that stuff, but also you're so true about the solution base. Like people need the solution and a little roadmap of the way out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm,
we really do. Because if we're going to be facing these demons, right? These
mm,
egregores that are controlling culture, religion, and the medical industry. We can't have a resistant type of energy. We can't be hating. We can't be against one another. Can't be showing all these graphic images and printing those back into the field. We have to create a new egregore, a new mind, a mastermind, which is a new voice. And metaphysically, that would be categorized or defined as a new civilization, a new
Mm.
civilization that is more aligned to all the beauty, all the lights that we hope to see, that will basically, because like how do you get rid of the dark? How do you defeat the dark? You just turn the light on. And we're
That's
not
true.
going to do it by associating with it, by protesting and getting all angry. We're feeding the beast itself. That's our voice, sound, it's energy. Traditions are what keeps all of these systems alive, with holy days, holidays, the Super Bowl,
Mm.
the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony at the Olympics. What's the other one in Brazil? Carnival.
That's
Like
it.
that's
Yeah.
another super dark um, tradition itself.
Halloween.
So Halloween, that's what's keeping these entities alive, because we're feeding it energy through these traditions. So
Mm.
circumcision falls in the line of these traditions that are played between these larger demons that control, again, the medical field, the religious cults, and society.
Hmm.
So we have to break the traditions, and we do that by creating new ones. We do that by masterminding with one another for this new voice, so that we can actually defeat and dissolve, turn the light on to these darker forces. It's not going to be done by walking up to a building and saying, you can't do whatever, I don't know, like whatever it is that
Yeah, it's
people
like
are
walking
doing
up
right
to a.
now.
It's like the
Yeah.
people that are calling to walk up to the government office and say you've advocated and you've like the rights to your position are now null and void. It's like even that system, we need to build something else. And I feel like we're going back to community. There's just going to
Yeah.
be communities everywhere. And if you want to participate in the current system, that's fantastic. You've advocated and you've done your. But if you want something better and something more, I guess, connected, then it's almost like a split of humanity and these systems, what I see playing out. And I
Yeah.
see you choose the path of nature and connection, or you can choose the path of AI and maybe a slave-based system. It's like we're all here to
Totally.
build something better, so come and join us.
Yeah. And one thing, I've been evolving into this, and I love that you said the word AI, like the matrix man that is being tailored at birth is real AI.
Mm,
He's not connected. He's not natural. He's not whole. The software system of his nervous system and in his brain is altered by the trauma, and it ultimately and consequently connects itself to the egregore, to the demon, which is why you see a lot of men say, I've been cut and I'm totally fine, or I want my son to look just like me. Or you hear them say, it looks better, the aesthetic is better, I love the way that I'm so happy that the doctor did this to me. Everyone's regurgitating the same thing. So
mm,
when you hear people regurgitate trust the science, or
yeah.
whatever it was that we've heard throughout the years, it's the programming of these egregores, because they actually, the way that brainwashing forms is they load these terms, these ideas and narratives through propaganda into our neural pathways, and they develop neural networks. And so that becomes the voices that speak those sentences of trust the science, or you have to be vaccinated in order for me to be safe, like whatever the
Basically turning you into a robot.
yeah. So like essentially our body, our biofield, our biology and anatomy, and the way that we function in nature is mimicked through technology.
Mm-hmm.
Our technology mimics it from nature, rather. And so we work just like a system. So if we have an egregore or a demon, that's a server that connects to all these different computers, it's controlling and feeding like through the collective field. which is why people's behavior changes.
Hmm.
You say a purple haired woman fighting for gender equality or whatever that may be, and you try to speak a little light into her, you try to speak something ask her a dynamic question, she'll glitch out. Like
Yeah,
that's what they're all glitching. They're malfunctioning because they don't have the antiviral software to have prevented the propaganda from infiltrating into their brain, into their neural pathways that develop these personalities that are through the neural networks. So
mm,
it's just a fascinating way to look to learn through what we're dealing with, because this is not a human against this medical building or this governmental office. It's us really understanding the biology and how these things are truly forming into our psyche and how that controls humanity at large.
yeah, and those same forces are the ones that have these songs out there, that have the movies and the TV shows and the porn, and that's all the same. It's cut from the same cloth.
Egregore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. So that's
And
how we do it.
and as the Matrix the perfect example, it's unplugging from all of that and uncovering the true person. And I say a lot, you need to unplug yourself from all of those influences that have influenced you and shaped who you are. But you then need to unplug from that and ask yourself, who am I? And keep going. And remember that you're just a pure soul having a human experience who's inhibited this weird skin sac to have this weird experience on this real weird mental asylum planet to figure out
Yeah.
that you're more than this mental asylum planet that we're currently living on.
Yeah. Yeah. Nailed it. We have to, like when Morpheus showed Neo the battery.
Mm,
He's like, this is what we've turned everyone into. And that's what we're plugging in. They're using our energy to
that's it.
fuel the system. And even if we want to keep talking about the Matrix, another beautiful analogy is looking at Mr. Smith, right?
Mm,
Agent Smith. Who is he? He's actually the trauma archetypes that can infiltrate through the neural networks of the mind and change the person to do them something. That's why they have to run, because there's these tactics from these egregores that can come in and shift us into a new person, because that's what trauma does. Why is it that we can be having a conversation with someone, and let's say again, like we say, there's only male and female on this planet, and they
yeah.
like freak out, right? It's just they change into a different person. You're like, wait, Cindy was just this like sweet, curious girl who seemed really open. I said this one thing and wham, she turned into someone named Cynthia, who's like some radical, crazy bitch, right?
Mm,
Like we all have these tendencies. We all are victims of it. We've all done it. We've all had those crazy reactions. And that's what trauma ultimately is. That's what circumcision truly is it's a person that lives inside, and it can be triggered, and it can be triggered through not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough, feeling angry is a big energy that can come out of men, and
hmm.
other life experiences can feed through that same funnel, and it continues to stack, which actually creates more rage. But if we were to look at trauma as this person that can shift and change at any moment, whether to become like low self-esteem, insecure, self-rejection, that's basically the full experience of these cut men, and how that physical trauma translates into these neural networks in the mind that make him limited, that degrade his ability to ground in ideas, to see clearly, to become the leader that he was meant to become, to go from point A to point B, sabotaging. That's the behavior of these traumas. So,
I can relate to that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what we're all struggling with in our mind. It's a beast. I mean, it can be such a beauty, yet understanding are these people inside, and where did they stem from, and how do we dissolve them? So that's basically the basis of what I've been doing, and finding that extreme shifting and healing in timelines, in physical appearance, and how men show up in their life. It's just from dissolving those voices. So more peace, more space can exist for the higher self to step into the spinal cord, the energetic spinal cord of the body, and intertwine more with his DNA so he can become that effective leader he was here to become.
Feel like you're talking to me right now.
Yeah, I
And
am.
I feel
You and
like,
all men.
yeah, it's exactly right. I feel like they are definitely mind viruses, but like it might be a question that might go over some people's head. But I'm gonna ask you anyway because I just had a feeling like I need to ask you. Like a lot of people will say, we chose to have this experience here like eons ago. Do you believe that like we even chose to have that happen to us, the circumcision or whatever trauma or like it's all trauma. Like have do you are you a believer of, what, we're all in a room fucking in the 1016D somewhere to then come down here to Planet Mental Asylum to have this experience? And
Yeah,
even something
totally.
as dark as circumcision.
Yeah,
Because it's
this
part of our evolutionary process to go through that. Are you a believer in that?
yeah, you know, when I this is a very deep question, and
I
I
know.
love deep questions. Like the deeper you go, the better for
Yeah.
me.
Yep.
So it can be really upsetting because of how extreme this can go, how extreme the monkey mind will want to take it. But ultimately, we all have karmic debt to pay.
Correct.
And one of the reasons circumcision comes about is because it's a karmic impulse. Some will choose to come in and actually, okay, this is going to be karmic debt that needs to be paid. And I know that when I do this, ultimately it's going to bring me a healing if I do choose to do that. If I'm not so congested with conditioning, I will find the hero's journey. I will find the way, and through that is going to be the most elevating, levitating, beautiful, expansive experiences of my life, so I can transmute that debt into attracting better karma, better relationships, right? So it's like it becomes this choice. And granted, yeah, I do think it can be a choice too. I know some men that have come in, or one I'm speaking of specifically, who had a very tumultuous and traumatic life and who had a lot of disturbances and horrible experiences that led him to ultimately a murder. He was murdered, but he paid in one lifetime at least 3 lifetimes of karmic debt. And we can choose to come to basically get it done and then come back at a time where we've cleansed and created a whole new slate for us to venture into this deeply beautiful human experience. Yeah, the body is weird. Like, yeah, like is there a firmament over our head? Like I mean, I believe so, right?
Mm.
Like there's water in the sky. Like I'm not within the heliocentric model at all. I totally believe we are not in a globe. But
Mm.
um it certainly is beautiful when you can deeply tap into holy shit, like there are so many souls just
Mm.
waiting and dying to be here right
Yeah, I've
now.
experienced that too. Oh, my
Yeah,
voice is going here.
yeah, yeah, to
Mm.
have the human form, to experience pleasure
Mm.
and eat yummy food and feel a heartbreak, but then feel the love that can come out of that, and to dance and to laugh. Like, oh my God, like my body does weird things. Like, sure, can my armpit smell one day, or like stomach gets hurt, but like take it all so seriously. It's like this is the body and this is how the body responds. And I'm this spirit and I have this opportunity to live inside of it. And through
Mm.
that, knowing and understanding, like I'm not my body, I am of it, but I'm not it. And I want to live a beautiful life and I want a home. an awesome home to live in because I want pleasure. I want to eat a steak with butter and,
How good.
have like 8 hours sex dates
Yeah.
and do all the fun things that we're here to do, which is to notice the nuances of nature, to use nature as a reflection of God so that we can learn lessons, we can understand how we operate, how the universe
Mm.
operates, and how to become the master of our life. That's what I tell all the men that I work with on the first session. I'm like, we're not in an emergency room here. Like, enough with this healing. Like, aren't you fucking tired?
Well
Like,
said.
I'm here to give you the keys so you become the master. So
Well
you
said.
don't need me. So you don't need anybody else because you have a mission to pursue. You have a life to live, to create meaningful experiences, meaningful memories, help humanity enter deeper into this golden age. Nobody got time. We don't have time for this anymore. Like, I was on a walk with a really good guy friend, and I was like, you're so profound and you're so nourishing and to the work that you do. And to hear that there are some limitations that you have breaks my heart, but enough's enough. He was like, well, maybe in about 2 years I'll be through this. I said, bro, 2
2 years.
years? You crazy? Like, we're gonna get this done in 2 fucking months. Like, I want to see you on big platforms. I want to see you happy. I want to see you in a beautiful relationship. I want to see her healed to meet you, and how that can trickle into all of us just being bigger and better and demolishing these egregores, demolishing these systems, because we've trained our neural networks to have this antiviral software so that we can't be tricked anymore. We know what it feels like to be whole. We know what it feels like to tap into our higher self. And the sensations, the way that the higher self actually communicates with us is through revelation, inspiration, and intuition.
Mm.
And it's guiding us because it can see everything. It's almost like in this painting, right? Like, if I'm in the middle at homegirl's knee and I'm in the painting, how the hell am I going to know how to get to the foot? But
Mm.
if I expand out a little bit, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to have to go north a little bit and then head west. But if we're in it, if I'm in the knee, how do I connect to that? How do I know where I'm going to be led to the next phase of my life that's going to be a higher vibrational timeline and frequency? Well, I have to clear everything out so that I can have more intuition. I can feel the air and the flow of inspiration and tap into these revelations that give me this insight to make a different decision that leads me to that higher timeline.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know what you just did, but you spoke to me just then. I feel like you just took something. I know you just took one of those egregores off me.
Yeah, right. I feel like I did that last time too,
Yeah,
but
you did. Yeah, you did. And I don't know if you're listening out there and you got no idea what we're doing. Jenna just
yeah.
cleared something for me, so that means she cleared something for you. And it's so true because this might be a bit of a tangent and a bit of a rant. I don't want to take away from what you just said because it was so beautiful, and I really hope that my real generator makes that a real, which I think it will. I just want to
That's
circle
awesome.
back to something you said earlier that it's like a lot of men and people, some men don't even ask for help, but the ones that do, and even people will go back to that person over and over and over again because they were trained to go to a doctor or whatever over and over and over again because that's the system, right? But they keep going to people like you or whoever over and over and over again. But you're saying, I don't want to see you over and over again. I just want to see you shine and blossom. That's the sign of a true, I feel like a true energy worker healer because some of them are still playing in that game of, oh, I've had this client for
I need more
six
money.
had this Reiki client for 6 years. It's like, well, where have you taken that person in 6 years? They shouldn't be still seeing you. You know what I
They
mean?
shouldn't.
And that's the
Yeah.
that's another sort of mind virus, right?
Yeah. I love that you bring this forward because it's actually a karmic crime to do that, a karmic and a cosmic crime, because it's manipulative. Your tools are dirty, right? Like, if
Makes
we think, like,
sense.
for me, like, I'm doing surgery on these men, I'm helping them reframe their psyche, dissolve all the things from the neural pathways, but my tools are clean because I deeply care, because I want to see them better than me. I want to see them shine. I want to be their
100%.
cheerleader. And I don't want them to need me. If they don't, if they're not done with me in about, I don't know, 10 or 12 weeks, like
Well said.
I didn't do it. And not that that's ever the case, but I want you to be a master, because when you're a master and you can see reality, you're going to shift and you're going to climb out of the matrix. And I'm going to help pull you out so you can create entrepreneurship, which is more than just creating a business. It's
Mhm.
creating a lifestyle. It's to style your life, to design it how you want it, not how a system tells you to. So we have these coaches that are deeply tapped into poverty consciousness, right? It's fear, it's manipulative,
It's the same
it's
tactics they're using on the news.
exactly.
Mm.
It's the tactics of the matrix. I'm here to free humanity. I'm here to liberate myself. I don't want you to need, I want to be your friend after this. I want to watch you in your glory. I don't
Mm.
want to need you and bring you in and play the snake, whatever. Like, no, that's not genuine. That's not of the light.
Yeah, because when I first started mine too, it's like I said to a couple of people that came in for client session, I don't want to see you in 2 years' time. Like I want to see you out there doing your thing. And it was a really hard pill for them to swallow. But one of my clients now's done the homeopathy course and has like got her own business going. It's like, well, look what you've just blossomed into, and I only saw you for like 3 sessions. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to see you. Like I'd love to get you back on my podcast and talk to you about it, which I've done. It's like I'd rather do that so that like you're like I'm using my platform to help you fucking shoot off into the ethers. That's what I want for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what this is about. And we've
100%.
gotten so lost. Yeah. So you nailed it when you said that's just the system. That's just the egregore. That's
Mm.
still, and the money egregore is a beast. I mean, it controls. Why do you think the light is having such a difficult time? It's because we're all fucking fearful of money. But yet you have all these
Good topic.
dark ass pedos
Mm.
who are like, take my money. Like, let's like, I don't care what the loss is, high risk, high reward. But we, on the other hand, are like, oh, like, can I afford? Like, we're not maximizing and breaking into the abundance, godlike self of aligning to the trust of what is created, or really understanding the energy of money. If I'm holding on to it, not wanting to go anywhere, money is going to be like, fuck you. I want,
But
I
people are
want
doing that
out.
right now because right now there's this
Yeah.
orchestrated. We have a lot of fuel. Fuck, come on. Look, this fuel crisis thing, like people are holding on to that. Like I was talking to someone in the gym yesterday. He's like, I'm batting down the hatches. Like we're not going and doing anything. And I'm like, is that really a way to live? Because
He's on
I sort of,
lockdown
I
though. So
sort
how
of
is it going to
probed,
come in?
I sort of probed him and said, you don't take any of this shit with you when you die. He's like, I stumped him. I'm like, like none of this. Yes, it matters now, but when you're on your deathbed, you're not counting your millions. You're you're either in love of the life you've had, or you're in regret of the things you should have done. So
With
where do
that
you want to be?
millions. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're not
Powerful.
taking the millions with you. They're not
Yeah.
coming with you. The only thing
Yeah.
coming with you is yourself and your energy and whatever else, and all the mundane
Yeah.
material things is like they're going to be just as they are.
Yeah. Like part of the power of awakening, part of the power of coming out of the matrix is being able to control your own hormonal chemical production. Now, that is a huge power. But if we have this money entity that is a controlling your nervous system and your hormonal production, then you're a slave to it. You haven't fully come into the deep sovereignty and ownership
Oh,
of recognizing that we can be in control of our hormonal production. And being in control of your own hormonal production, that's serenity. And the difference between serenity and tranquility is, in tranquility, there can be chaos happening all around me in tranquility, but I can feel that peace. I can feel that center and that ground. But with
yeah.
serenity, I can feel that peace, feel that groundedness inside me, but yet there may be a tornado happening in my neighborhood But I am so anchored, I can control it. I can shift fully my external experience and realm. And we get to that space when we own and are in control of our hormonal production, which is one thing that people actually forget is
Mm.
part of this journey in this physical body, is that ownership. So that's essentially to me like what it takes. So we have to dissolve these systems that are keeping us clenched, of keeping our asshole tight and literally wanting to hoard this money. And again, it's preventing us from really expressing the beauty in life that life is here to offer us.
How does one break that?
Break the Well, there's a lot of different ways. You need to understand the energy of money. You need to understand your valve of self-worth. Self-worth is
Self-worth's
actually
big.
one of it's everything. Like if I have a low self-worth, then how am I gonna feel like I can have the things that I want to have? I don't have a good self-worth. That's the energy exchange. That's the exchange itself. We buy money with our self-worth. Now, if I have a high self-worth, I know that if I put myself up there in a higher realm of higher echelon type of people, and if I can just be right there and sit in the same room with them and feel as worthy, think about it. Like all the different class systems from low class, middle, their conversations at the dinner table within each category in class are going to be different.
That's true.
What they're the conversations are different, and a lot of them has to do with the worth that they have. Well, like for example, a friend told me that she walked up to a woman this weekend and she noticed she had these beautiful beaded bracelets on, and she said, "Oh my god, your bracelets are so beautiful." And the lady goes, "Oh yeah, they were super cheap. I got them for $5." Like, okay, well, one, who the fuck asked you? I'm just telling you, like, these are really beautiful bracelets. But you'll notice she couldn't even take a compliment. Her low self-worth had to go, no, boom, it's cheap. It costs nothing. It was $5. I'm not worth it. I'm wearing trash. Opposed to higher
Makes sense.
levels of the self-worth of not, can I afford this? How?
Yes.
Because I could have a million in the bank, an investment shows up for two. You better fucking believe, if I believe that I can have it, how am I going to do it? I'm going to make it happen because my worth is there. The amount we are willing to go into risk is equivalent to the amount that is actually going to come into our direction.
Mm.
But if you don't believe you can do it, if you're too scared, like when I moved into this home that I'm currently in, it was a lot more, not a lot more, but it was more expensive than my previous one. But had not actually visualized and said, no, that's the woman I want to be. That's the woman that I want to experience this new life. I left my husband. I have never, ever made money for myself. I was terrified. But I knew somewhere if I wanted to be this woman on Joe Rogan, right? Like I want to step into that layer. I want to kind of just stretch myself into that space. And it came from my worth. It came from realizing like I'm here for a reason. And I'm starting to see that the light really is on my side. And all these opportunities are showing up. Why would they stop? So let's fucking go. And here we
Agreed.
are, you know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
And that it's being fearful and being scared is what literally holds like it holds the system together, but it also holds us back, as you said, from truly expressing what we're here to express. And that's just expressing ourselves. Because
Yeah.
we wear all these masks and we have all these labels and we use all these excuses to not be who we want to be.
Yeah. Those identities, and they're toxic.
Mm, they are.
Yeah.
And it's
So
about
if there we
stripping.
have these,
No, you're right.
go
You
ahead.
go.
Well, I was just going to say that if you have these toxic identities inside of you, and they're going to pop in, how do you know when one is going to come out and not? How do you know what you're thinking isn't the true real I am that I am, or it's not one of these identities that's like, maybe I need to sabotage this, because deep down underneath this experience there's a feeling, and that feeling is unworthiness. because that's how we behave. All of our behavior stems from the behavior and avoidance,
Mm-hmm.
a fear of loss of something or someone, and then there's the feeling. The feeling is the trauma. But we're going to do all those things to cake above it, to layer above it through our behavior. So our behavior is basically a glimpse into the window of the soul of a human to know where their trauma is. So if I'm choosing to be in a home that is more expensive than what I'm used to, then that feeling underneath me is, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. And I'm going to do it. So just like there can be egregores and demons and these statements of, trust the science can be in our neural networks, so can the light. So
That's
can
true.
fuck yes. Like I can own that car. Like I can buy that home. I can go on that trip for 3 months and that I've always wanted to do and go study with a Taoist master in the Wudang Mountains. Like I can build that business. I can talk to that girl. I can ask her out on a date, right? Like that's how our system operates. And to spiritually advance and evolve, we have to know how the computer system of the body is operating. And that's through understanding the hormonal production and the neural pathways and what's being charged and cultivated and formed inside, which is the person that's going to act either as a saboteur or as the person who's going to go for that new Bentley.
Mic drop. That's so true.
Yeah.
Because I've pondered
Yeah.
so much of that, it's literally just turning. I've the way I viewed what you just said, my is turning that negative. Like if you're constantly, oh, there goes the throat chakra.
Let it out because you
Yeah,
were
so
talking about that
clearly
earlier.
experiencing something here.
Yeah.
If you're focusing and just like not even consciously aware that you're so negative,
Right.
you're only going to attract in those negative experiences. What you're saying is you're turning that negative into a I can't to a fuck yes I can. It's literally
Yes.
just a shift in from positive or from negative to positive.
Yeah.
It's gone from I can't to I can.
Yeah.
It's
So the
not
way
that
that the
hard.
brain, it's,
Mm,
well, it depends on the path. It depends on the person teaching it.
true.
You're going to
Yeah.
have some asshole who's trying to get all this money from you and who's like trailing you along, or is it going to be someone that actually knows this spiritual system, this spirituality, the healing and wellness community is so congested and constipated because we're taking in so much information. You have to think of our spirituality as a digestive system. We've got 5 podcasts we haven't listened to, 3 books in our Amazon
Oh,
cart,
yeah, well said. Yeah.
10 books on our desk or on our nightstand. And we're constantly like, but nothing is practical. So if it is not simple and digestible, it's not true spirituality because we need something to apply. We need something to work with. You want to tell me, oh, this is a mystery and it's going to be extremely complex and that's just how it works. No, fuck that wisdom because one, that's not wisdom. It's not. Wisdom is a person and she's very clear. It's clear. It's practical. You see it. You shift. You change. Voila. And so it's dissolving these neural networks in the brain. We're a human body, remember? So we got
Mm,
to shift, dissolve the neural networks, and create new ones. So that personality that feels unworthy or is like, I must be
mm,
accepted or validated and impressive and prove myself because I'm not anybody unless I have it on my wall and unless I have that job title. And you can say, fuck off, dissolve it. And you can be like, I'm whole because there's nothing that you can add or subtract from wholeness or perfection. You can't.
mm,
Being whole, you don't have any needs. You don't respect me. I don't care. Like I don't need that from you. I'm happy. I'm creating everything in my life, and I know that I'm personally a respectable person. I don't need to do anything to prove to you and try so hard and seek that like to be respected. That's actually one of the worst things that men are being fed is like it's a quality of the masculine to need to respect. No, because a true divine masculine is whole. He doesn't need a validation. He doesn't need appreciation. He doesn't need to be seen. He doesn't need to be wanted because he, Does that make sense? Like there's nothing to add to it. It's what the higher self is. It's who we are. It's the God inside, and bring to earth as it is on heaven and its wholeness. God isn't asking for, hey, will you just like tell me like I'm cool because I designed a willow tree? Like, like there's no needs, and the tree isn't comparing itself to the other. The birds aren't saying, hey man, like were you sure that the squirrel over there approved of you so you can actually be over here on this branch with me today? Like
That's so true.
it's so foolish,
Mm.
but it's simple. And that's what I tell men. Men are very practical, linear, logical, and I'll weave in all the beauty, which I love to do, but like it's not an emergency room. Here's the thing. Let's look at it and get rid of it and move on. Let's move on with the thing.
Yeah. And
Let's move
take
on.
action. And take action.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
been that's been big for me because personally, the more I take action, the more things sort of come about. And, even when I was sharing to you off air about my current girlfriend, I remember I had this 16-year-old client, right? And he had just met someone, and he was like, I was like, oh, how does she make you feel? And da 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 da. And he was saying all the butterflies, and he goes, oh, and then he was standing in front of the mirror saying how proud he was of the man that he is. And I was like, that's really
Mm.
awesome, bro, considering where you were a couple of months ago. And he then turned the tables on me and said, no, if you're a pretty good looking guy, mate, you're not really putting yourself out there. This is a couple of years ago. And he said, you're a good looking guy. You're not going to meet someone laying on the floor meditating. And I was like, oh, that's so freaking true.
He's
That's
this
sort of,
wise kid.
but that
Yeah.
he is, and that he's 18 now, and that sort of started that journey of putting myself back out there again because I just hid away in a cave for a few years. But I needed to
Yeah.
hear that, and there's always been people in my life that have just fucking given me the truth straight down the middle, and I might want to curl up in a ball sometimes, but I do go, I fucking need to hear that. Like, there's a part of me that goes,
Yeah.
I really fucking needed that kick in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. We all do. I love a
Yeah,
good kick ass. Like
yeah,
sometimes I'm like, oh, I can feel that, but ultimately help me expose the things that are the areas where I have blind spots. And
yeah,
I'll put it on the whiteboard and really see where this has affected or where this is blocking the next evolutionary stage and step of my life that's unfolding so beautifully. So yeah, I love it. And that's how I am as a friend. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't. Like, I don't have the neural networks to lie. It's like not a thing. So you're pretty much gonna get everything from me.
yeah. I was talking to someone about this yesterday. The whole, it's like I've said this a few times. Like, I'd rather empower you than insult you because that word magic spell, I'd rather cast a "you're awesome" than a fucking get fucked or a insult. You know what I mean? Like, that's something I've really focused on. Is like, no, I'm choosing to give people that empowerment because it'll make them feel good rather than me going something else and making them feel bad. I'd rather empower you than
Yeah.
disempower you. Yeah.
Yeah. Leave the world better than how you found it.
Yeah, and I've insulted many people over my time, but but it's like I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. Good. I'm happy to hear
Mm.
that.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. It's the beauty of a podcast,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah, I really love what you've shared, Tayak. You've spoken to me, and I'm sure anyone listening in that will just feel very empowered from this conversation. And Jenna, if someone's new to you, which there are a few new listeners these days, where can people find you and how can they get in contact with you?
Awesome. You can find me on Instagram at Jenna underscore McClelland underscore,
Very
which
good
I'm pretty
content,
active.
by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I love doing it so much. And I have a YouTube channel as well that's linked on my profile on Instagram. And then I have a very easy, you can get in contact with me effortlessly. I just have a quick funnel where it's at alchemize with Jenna.com. and you just put your name and your email, and then I'll send you some questions, and then I give you a free consult, and then we'll design a curated, a very unique program for you, depending on where you are in your life. What are your needs? What do you want to see? If you don't put this work in now, where is your life going to be in 5 years? Because like we tend to forget, like our readiness is a barometer for the love that we have for ourselves. And we can
Mm.
actually project, shit, if I'm feeling this way in 5 years, what is my life going to look like? And am I going to get closer to the
Long
things that I'm
term.
currently chasing? And it's a big wake up call. And I kind of guide you through it. And then we'll begin
I
to,
love
if
that.
you want to work with me, yeah,
Especially focusing
we will do
more
that.
on, okay, if you're going to be like this now, what's that going to look like in 5 years? But here's like, no, you're probably asking what their dream or something is. Well, what's that going to look like in 5 years? It's like that 5 year sort of plan
Yeah,
because we're all so focused on the short term. That's what they want us to be focused on. It's, where do you
right.
see yourself in 10 years? I do that with my clients too. Just go, well, where do you
Yeah,
see yourself in 3 years?
yeah,
And then what
yeah.
does
And
that look like if you're still in this now? You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah,
I,
really
I'll
good.
have plenty of I'll have plenty of men say like dead.
Really.
Like I find myself dead. Yeah. Like if I actually like if I'm that miserable. I I have no idea. I've never thought about it, but yeah, I don't know how much more I can hang on.
Fuck.
And they are come in like it's deep work. I mean, think about the conditioning of men, think about the body
Mm,
tailoring, think about the stuff all your emotions down your throat and repress and take on gambling addictions and porn and alcohol and all these different types of affairs that just lead to more pain, more cortisol in the system. And remember, we have to control our hormonal production.
And here I was trying to end the chat, and now you've just opened the door for more.
Yeah, sorry. I can do that. We can totally close. I'm totally open to keeping on going, but
Doesn't really worry me either. But like, I was like, oh, I might wrap this up, and now you've just like, I'm like, where can people find you? And then you've gone, I've got, oh, there's so much more to talk about.
always,
Yeah, I'll have to
always
get you.
another layer.
If you wanted to sum up this chat today, Jenna, like we've spoken about some really deep things today and really given people some things to consider. To sum this up, what would you say to my audience now to leave them with something? Do you have anything? I thought I'd put you on the spot, but yeah, is there anything?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, if there's a slight curiosity, a light spark of something, where you want to reach out, do it. We don't know when we're going to take our last breath. I could get off this call and get hit by a FedEx
I don't think you
truck
will though. By
this
the way, just
this
saying.
afternoon, right? Right. But like we
You're
we
here for a
really
long
don't.
time, so
Yeah,
it's not gonna
thank you.
happen.
I appreciate that. But for the sake of the analogy, I
Yeah.
could get something could happen, right? And like that's uncontrollable. And your barometer, like I said, of self-worth, self-love is your readiness. And you deserve to be happy. You deserve to come out of this fucking emergency room clinic and live a beautiful life and to
Mm,
align yourself with all the things that are going to bring you everything that you've ever desired. Now, if you've never even come to a place where you've even connected to what you desire, it would be just a great privilege to help you see how important your presence is here on earth, because we all have an assignment. We're all here for a reason. This is no accident.
hmm
And there are, like I said earlier, many souls wishing they could be here. And let's do it. And let's ride it. Let's grab the baton, set it on fire, and fucking experience the hero's journey together.
That's so cool. And I love how you said there's so many souls waiting to come here too,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I've seen that as well. And it sort of grounded me and gave me more gratitude of being here for this time. Because there's so many
Yeah.
waiting and so many coming out, so many coming in. And there's just like, I just saw it as like this beam of light with just eons of souls just like waiting to
Waiting.
incarnate.
Yeah.
Jenny,
Yeah.
you're awesome. I'm
The
so glad I listened to that.
Thank you.
You're here for the Truth Show, and I only found you because
Yeah.
Jason shared it, and I was like, "This woman is awesome. I need to
I
talk to her."
know. You're the best. You've become such a dear friend of mine,
Nah,
and
you
I
too.
love
I
that we have a friendship. And
need to
I know
connect
this
more.
isn't over.
No, I
Yeah,
need to connect
absolutely.
more. Like I went, we went MIA for a bit there, and then I saw you on Kelly Brogan's show, and I thought, no, I'm gonna message her and say well done because I've followed her
It's
for a
time.
while. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. We need to have you
Jenna,
come to Austin next.
yeah, I've been to Texas, and I'm very keen to check out Austin, and I'm definitely keen to come over there and yeah, doing it in person would be
Yeah.
pretty cool. Sitting in front of that picture there would be pretty cool.
Can you imagine?
I can imagine. I'm imagining it right
Yeah, it'd
now. It
be
means it's going to
amazing.
happen.
We'd have so much fun. Yeah, let's do it.
Appreciate it, Jenna. I'll have to
What?
circle back.
All
I'll
right,
circle
sounds
back
good.
and get you on after you've done the way forward.
Or Joe.
Or Joe, yeah, I'm definitely going to circle back and I've watched you from afar in the last few months and yeah, we need to connect more. So thanks for everything you've
Sounds
shared
great.
today for my audience and yeah, so I
Thanks.
really appreciate
Thanks for
you
having
and
me on.
righto, this has been the Breaking Free
Yeah.
podcast. We're out. Enjoy this episode and yeah, just go and be awesome. It's not hard, so do that. Chat to you all soon.
Bye.